Hi everybody, it's Patrick from the Master Knife Shop coming to you with another review, and today we're looking at the Benchmade 940 Osborne, a classic knife from the Benchmade group. Been around a long time. Benchmade founded in 1987. They're out of Oregon City, Oregon. There's a nice little box. Of course, all their folders come in this really nice little pouch. This particular knife, I really like it. This is one of my favorites, and our customers tell us it's probably their favorite. It's been around for 25 years. I'm going to show some variations, which is why we're bringing out the original. This was designed by Warren Osborne. He came from Texas by way of Australia, and Benchmade asked him to design a knife, and he came up with this one, and it's just a beautiful piece. It was introduced at the 2000 Atlanta Knife Show, and it's still around 25 years later. It's just beautiful. And so this is the original. It comes with the green handle, the black oxide blade, and you can always tell it's got this beautiful purple spacer, full spacer on the backside. That tells you it is the original. It's built really, really well for everyday carry. You could take this out camping, hiking, hunting. Most of their folders are going to be that iteration where it's just everyday carry for anything you want to put it through. But this is the original, and they put out some other variations. This has S30V steel, which we'll cover in the specs in just a minute. It does have a clip on this side. It is reversible. So this particular one has a deep pocket clip. There's other ones that are going to come. We'll show you it's got the 3-hole clip, but it is reversible. If you buy this in our store, we'll flip it over for you while you wait. Really nicely done, and I just like it. So the original is there. Some other ones we carry, they put out this one. There's a nice, beautiful version of it. This is G10 scales now instead of the aluminum body. It has a nice satin blade. The rest of this knife will be the same, S30V on the steel. It does have different spacers. You notice the spacers is not a full body spacer on this new version. It's just got some nice green spacers there, keeping it a little more lightweight. The G10 scales keep it lighter. So I like that version. Somebody that likes a little upscale and really likes something fancy, we got a lot of people buying this knife. This is an Osborne Mini, so you'll notice the size difference, and we'll cover that in the specs. It's a little bit smaller. It does have carbon fiber on the handle. It's gorgeous. Look at that carbon fiber handle. And what really bumps this up for really top-end knife, you can barely see that right there, but it's S90V on the steel. And we'll see on the steel chart, that's just crazy steel. A newer version they brought out, another regular Osborne and Mini, is the new burnt copper. This is just gorgeous. This is something they just put out maybe about a month ago. We've got it in our shop. It's aluminum on the handle. And again, they jumped into a different kind of steel. The first two were S30. Then you have S90. This one is Magnacut. So another famous steel that came out that people are really clamoring for to come in the shop and ask us what we've got in Magnacut. So this came out, and it's beautiful. They do this in a full size. They also do it, believe it or not, in an auto, push button out the side auto. Really beautiful version. But again, because this is such a classic, the 940 Osborne, they're constantly doing new iterations to keep the fans happy, so to speak. And so these are just really, really great pieces. I think any choice you have, you can't go wrong. This is my favorite because I like the traditional original. Let's take a look at some specs. So the big guy here is 2.8 ounces, still very light. It's nice and simple. Now, of course, it does have the access lock for opening, closing, and thumb stud, like all of the Benchmade folders. But 2.8 ounces is pretty light. As far as length goes on the full size, full length, from tip to heel is just at 8 inches or a hair under 8 inches, 7.8 inches. And of course, for cutting edge, 3.5 inches on the cutting edge, as you can see. That will be your full size guys. On the smaller guys, the weight on this is 2 ounces, much lighter as far as that goes. If you just want something simple, lightweight in your pocket, this is just your go-to knife for that. So let's take a look. I do like the fact this aluminum is a little bit heavier. This is going to be 2.2 ounces instead of 2 ounces. As far as length goes, a little bit shorter. So we're looking at 6 3/4 inches on the length for the little guy. And cutting edge on this is 2 3/4 inches on the cutting edge. So for those who like the specs and find that kind of stuff important when you're picking out your knife, there you go with the specs. The steel on these is going to vary, so we're going to cover them all. Here's our steel chart. You guys know that we bring this in to give you an idea where all the steels stand. You got your edge retention, toughness, and corrosion resistance. We'll start with the classic. The classic is S30V. You can see right there. Really nice edge retention. And it's just a well-balanced steel. It's got some medium toughness, but it's not something you're using for pry barring, so don't worry about that. It will take care of chipping, microchipping. You're not worried about that. And then for corrosion resistance, stainless properties, it really stands out there. It's just a great all-around steel. So if you're looking at the carbon fiber, we talked about S90V. That really jumps up. You'll notice right here, S90V is the top of the line. That's big dog when it comes to edge retention, 9 out of 10. It just holds the edge like no other. It's only got 3.5 on the toughness, so you do have to watch it. You don't put it through too much work. You don't want to put any chips in that blade, microchip chips, but it also is a great steel, just like the S30V, as far as corrosion resistance with the stainless properties. Really nice. Now, the new one, when they brought out with that burnt copper, which is gorgeous, they use Magnacut. And we're going to drop over to here. You can see my finger right there. CPM Magnacut right there. Still great edge retention. What they do is they added your toughness. That really jumps up there. Much tougher on the steel. Not as much danger for chipping and microchipping. And then corrosion resistance is the best of them all. You're at 9.5 out of 10 for the corrosion resistance. So phenomenal steel that they chose for all three variations of this knife. And I really do like this knife a lot. This obviously is one of my favorites. I've got 4 myself, Benchmades, and one of mine is the 940 Osborne. I have the traditional original one. So pricing wise, variable prices. This original comes in at $240. That's your green aluminum handle. If you're looking at the copper one, that's your Magnacut steel that comes in at $290. Your black G10 scales, that's pretty basic, but it's still G10, S30V steel, but G10 on the handle, and that comes in at $230. And the big dog here with the carbon fiber and the S90V, which is your top of the line knife, that comes in at $340. So each one's got a little variable price, a little variable steel. We'll help you, if you come into the knife shop, we'll help you pick out the one that fits best for your needs, and we'll get you set up with your 940 Osborne. Well, that'll do it today for the Osborne and the Osborne Mini from Benchmade. I hope you found this information helpful. Before you go, please hit that like button and be sure to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on any of our new content. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and we'll see you next time.